Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I'm Sidani, and this is my little corner of the internet where I share real life updates, reflections, and the journey of growing through what I go through. If you're into honest conversation, cozy vibes, and figuring out life one step at a time, you're in the right place. So let's catch up. So before I jump into what's new, I want to take a moment to talk to you about where I was around, let's say, spring last year. I was in a place where everything felt kind of uncertain. The ground was shifting beneath me pretty much. Jobs, relationships, routines, and I was grieving parts of my life I thought I'd have figured out by now. I didn't realize at the time just how deeply that uncertainty was affecting me. I felt stuck, emotionally drained, and honestly a little bit lost. So the start of these changes didn't feel like growth. It felt kind of like loss. I had dedicated so much time to my studies and then going through another round of studying for work, which ended up not working out for me. So letting go of what I thought life was supposed to look like was really hard. But now, with some new space, of course, and reflection, I can see that some of those moments were maybe actually opening doors for me. So this update is about those doors, what's behind them now, and what it took to walk through them, honestly. So let's get into it. All right, so new jobs. Basically, let's start with work, I guess, because that's been one of the biggest shifts. I started a new full-time role shortly after my last update, and that alone has been a lot. But it's a good lot, though. Challenging in ways that push me to grow, but still aligned with the direction I'm trying to take my life. So I've been holding on to a part-time job as well, which keeps me grounded. It's a bit slower paced than the full-time, and it's kind of, in a weird way, it gives me space to just breathe, even though it's still labor. What surprised me the most, though, was the coworker connections in all of this, because I don't know if I mentioned before, but I worked from home for the past several years while going through the last of my bachelor's, and then with the work I was doing, it was all remote. So that's been the biggest thing for me. Just I found community in both of my roles, people who just get it, people who I've made long days and the tough moments just a little bit lighter, which is really awesome. I have a new pet, just to jump ship a little bit to a new topic. But let's talk about my new little buddy, my pet snake. Yep. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on my channel, but I've always wanted a snake. And so when was it? It was sometime in the fall, winter time. I got a fancy ball python, and honestly, it's been an experience. We're talking nightmares, we're talking snake being a brat, throwing tantrums. Who would have thought? I don't know. It's been a wild ride. First of all, naming was a journey in itself. Still not quite sure what the name is. I think I know it. I feel like it's been at least 10 names though. And surprisingly, I don't know. It's surprisingly hard, I guess, to name something that just like silently stares at you 90% of the time. I think the only noise I ever heard my snake make was when he was throwing a tantrum and he pissed at me or whatever. But like, otherwise, he's just like silently lingering there. I'll be in the kitchen doing dishes and he's just like peering out of his enclosure at me, Letty. So the wild part though, the nightmares, not from the snake, but from me. I guess my subconscious needed some time to adjust or whatever, because those first few nights, a little bit interesting, but still, we've hit some milestones, of course. First feeding, first full shed. They've now done shed twice, actually. And I think we're just getting into a rhythm. I'm sure that before they came to live with me, they had their own schedule. I know that they were eating on a different day. There was a whole period where they were refusing to eat, and I was just like, you're literally withering away. But they were just not about it. I think that was leading up to their first shed. They didn't eat. And I noticed that during the second shed that they weren't eating as well. I think that's kind of normal, but I was concerned. Like, whoa. Definitely a learning curve with that as well. And it's been really cool finding compassion for something like a snake, because I feel like that's the one animal that is weary waters for a lot of people. So it's been really cool to take care of a creature like that. That's just unlike any other type of pet. I've had a fish, and even that is even more detached, but it's cool every now and then hanging out with a snake, taking it out of the enclosure and just vibing with it. Notice it'll watch TV with us and stuff. It's so cute. But that's the first two updates, I suppose. Another thing that's been really helpful for me over this past year has been my mindset, to be honest. And I think going out and having a job that's not remote has been really pivotal in all of this. All the new changes I've had to adjust my mindset a lot. So basically, I'm learning how to go with the flow more, just to stop gripping so tightly to what I cannot control. And I keep telling myself, these are things I can't control. And it comes up a lot in my work too, like full time, because we're constantly trying to teach this lesson about, oh, is this something you can control? So it's definitely a lesson that I am still learning in many aspects. So it's been tough for someone like me. I love a good plan. I will plan and not even do the thing, which is kind of problematic. But I just love the idea of having a plan. I love the structure. And sometimes that's just not possible with the way life is. And I've learned a lot about that with the job that I have. I've had to be very flexible. I can make a plan all day long, but this job has shown me that you have to be flexible. You have to have some things in your back pocket ready to go, plan B, a plan C. You just can't script everything. And that wouldn't be fun anyway if you had to, no, you can't. You need some surprises, some curveballs, if you will. But now I'm practicing acceptance, I would say. I'm learning to meet that change with curiosity instead of fear. And it's been really great. It's sometimes in the moment comfortable, but each moment that I get to exercise that acceptance, and it's just so much better. It's kind of more positive too, I find, because always wanting to have a certain outcome and having a certain expectation about certain situations is kind of detrimental, because sometimes that curveball that happens in the situation, even though it's not your plan, it's to your benefit in the long run. So it's definitely something to really think about, to trust it even though it's uncomfortable, because it's moving me forward. So that's been a big lesson for me, definitely. But as far as my goals for what's next for me, looking forward to everything with the new mindset. Of course, we got to have some new goals. So I started getting back into the gym for one. I think I started in March. So now it's May. It's been pretty good. Some weeks I'm more consistent than others. And honestly, I think it's easier to go this time around, whereas before when I was working from home, it was hard to get out of the house and whatever. But also because of the mindset that I have with going, I'm not really looking to get a certain look or anything really. I just want to get stronger. Whatever that ends up looking like for me, I'll take it. I just want to feel stronger. I think just sitting around doing school and just working and just being so sedentary for the last 5 years, I needed to get out of the house to move. And my full-time job allows me to be on my feet a lot, and that really shook some of the rust off. And I figured I need to get to the gym so that I can really hone in on these changes and really compound the results, I guess. So that's been one of the goals. Reminding myself that I can do hard things. It's also been really good for my mental health, just getting out there, moving my body, lifting heavy things. But another part of my goals are basically organizing my life. I feel renewed again. When I moved, I didn't really do declutter. It all happened so quickly. It was a whirlwind. So I didn't really declutter a lot of my belongings. So that's been something I've been really wanting to get into lately, and I have been working on little by little. So organizing my surroundings, cleaning up my space, figuring out what routines will help me to be successful with my work schedule and everything. Basically just creating systems that work for me. Meal prep, planning out my weeks, making sure that I have clean clothes ready to go, laundry, whatnot, all that. And just having an idea of how each day is going to go, just like a rough outline, all of my obligations, basically. I love having that planned out because Now with my pet and just all the things that I want to do, it's probably best to have a good system. And I feel like it's more for healing and momentum versus just like, oh, I need to check this goal off my list. I think it just breathes more air into my life, not being bogged down by all these things that I don't use, and I could be putting them back into the universe. I have so many things I need to donate, all that. So my last and most probably exciting new adventure and goal that I have is grad school. It's coming. And I want to walk into it with a clear mind, steady habits, and just confidence, really. That's where I'm meant to be. So, I don't know. I'm just really excited and really looking forward to showing up for myself, and all of these goals will be a part of that. So, that's pretty much where I'm at these days. New roles, new rhythms, new parts of myself I'm learning to trust. And that's been a really big thing in general, especially with this channel. I've been saying, oh, for years, literally years, oh, I'm going to be consistent. I don't trust myself when I say those things, and that's kind of concerning. So each of these steps, I'm hoping, each of these new decisions, these new systems, I appreciate you being here, holding a bit of space for this part of my journey and part of the journey. If you're in the season of change too, you're not alone. Let me know in the comments what you've been moving through lately, and whether it's something big or small. I'd just love to hear about it. If you felt connected to any of this, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe, or come back next time. I'll be here figuring out right alongside you. I have a grad school series coming up, so stay tuned for that. Just getting all of the ducks in a row, and I'm planning on documenting that journey. So please check in with me. It's been amazing. Thank you. All right. Have a great one, y'all. See you next time.